All right, welcome to Franchise Time Machine. This is an unusual daytime stream for me, but it was made necessary because I have two bronze tournaments to enter, two bronze live tournaments to enter, and I need rosters for them. And I know in the chat previously, some folks had expressed interest in understanding um, how other people do their uh, tournament rosters, and I thought, well, this is a good one. Smiley face Jane. Yeah, I'm flying under the radar. I didn't mean to pull people away from lap. I just want to this is more for the VOD so that people who are interested in how different people build rosters can take a look and see at least how I do it. I think it might have been Flying WV who had been asking about it, and I walked them very briefly through how I do it, but I thought I could just show how to do it in here. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. You probably don't need this. You can probably teach me how to build a roster. Um, this is more. This is more just to have something on VOD that I can refer people to. Max, I tried to put in the stream title that I'm still streaming tonight. I just have to do this now because I have tournaments to enter. Oh, thanks, my face, Jan. The the live tournaments, they're no combi, so I think that levels the playing field quite a bit. So my general approach here is, well, the first thing is I have a few views that I've customized that make it easier for me to build rosters. In particular, things like breaking out contact into BABIP and avoid K, breaking out movement for pitchers into home run, um, home runs allowed, and pitcher BABIP. Why do I have a roster? There should be no one in here. All right, we're going to clear everyone out of here. I find it much easier to start from a clean slate. I intentionally didn't put in import a roster because I knew I was going to have to do this build. So I'm a little annoyed that I guess the game just imported a default roster. Here's the problem. It won't let you deactivate players. Yeah. It'll let you deactivate some, but not enough. Jaden Hill. Okay, let me look at Jaden Hill. This is next level from I can't remember whose card it is. There's someone whose card like the face is really tiny right here. But now this one's an improvement because it's even off to the side. That's amazing. That's awesome. Is it Jeff Hartley? Let me see. I gotta screenshot this though. That's awesome. Geoff. There's Geoff. Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of. I like that Smiley Face Jay knew that right off the bat. Jeff Hartley, awesome. That's so good. That is great. He just wanted to put it right. Totally. Jeff Hartley now looks like the paragon of what a picture should look like. Uh, uh let's do this. So manage cards, hide duplicates. I don't know. Have you guys noticed this? When you hide duplicates, I found that it if you have combis, it hides all the non-combis. And then so if I don't want combis, I uncheck, or then I go and do non-combinator, and then it won't show the non-combinator versions because I'm blocking them because I'm blocking the combis. It's it's this weird thing about how the combi is the actual normal card and it's not. I think it's like messing up the checking and unchecking here. Smiley Face Jane rarely plays Iron, Do or Die, but use Heartleaf and Closer just for the fun of it. Yeah, because it's technically a dupe, but it really plays havoc with trying to build a roster using these check marks, Max. So then I end up having to show duplicates, find the non-combinator versions, and then add them to my rosters for these like roster cap tournaments. Anyway, I uncheck. All right, this is for the VOD. This is for people looking to understand how I do this, and I also recommend they watch a bunch of other people do it too because we'll all do it differently. I uncheck active cards to just make it easier to have a cleaner view, and then I first go by some position ratings that I've set up. So catcher framing, I like for at least one catcher to have high catcher framing. So Austin Hedges is like kind of a go-to. Okay, he's in the reserve, which annoys me. So I can't just click him on or off. All right, Austin Hedges, welcome to the team. And then once I have him, see he disappeared now because he is now on the active roster. I also added BABIP here so I could get a sense of if they have any offense or not. And so Hedges is a righty. Ideally, I'd find a left-handed catcher, ideally with decent framing, but that's not always possible. So I might not fill that other catcher slot now. Then I'm looking infield range with an eye towards turn double play to get my second baseman and shortstop. So usually at this level, it's Nunez, Nick Ahmed, and Nicky Lopez, some combination of these three. It looks like Nick Ahmed's BABIP might have gone up in the last update. Oh, Lopez's offense went up a little bit too. So I might go Ahmed and Lopez. They're they're both pretty close in defense to Nunez, but they have much better bat. So Lopez I can just activate. All right. Ahmed I'd like to activate, but since it wouldn't let me delete him from the reserve roster, I have to go add him in manually. Okay, so middle of the infield is now set. Now they might not start. I might bring them off the bench for defense, but at least they're on the team now. And I like to have at least one center fielder with range. So I like this Pache card. His BABIP is usually decent. It still is after the update. He's a righty. So I have been going Siani, but it looks like Kiermaier might have gotten a little bit of a boost in the last update. I guess we're going back to Kiermaier. Kiermaier, Pache. Now, one of these guys might get cut, but I at least like to start with two good fielding center fielders. Okay, so that's all the defensive positions I like to start with. And then I'm going to get the rest of the batters. So for that, I've created this view where it looks really busy, but it's basically like overall contact BABIP power I, and then VR same things, and then VL same things. I have the defense over here on the left because I started realizing I was getting some pretty crappy fielders by doing it just by looking at the batting stats. Now, normally I would start at power, but actually at this level, BABIP is pretty scarce, as is high contact. So I might grab a couple of contact players first. Wow, this Iglesias must have gotten a boost. No power and I though, but 90 defense. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. What's his turn double play? Okay. Um, Not just because he's a Met, but I'm gonna add him to the team, and then it's gonna allow me to bump one of my defensive middle infielders. So he's a righty, so I'm gonna bump Nick Ahmed for now, especially because he's an iron. So we got a much better bat, a very tiny downgrade in defense, but I'll take that. So here I'm looking for, I want to balance something I hear with something either high in power or I, ideally both. Now, Ryan O'Hearn fits that bill, but it's a first baseman. I'm looking for more power there. 79 is not bad though, but you see, there's much better power options for corner infield. So, and I am starting to shift more from just BABIP to contact now that there are more strikeout pitchers in the mix. I think early in the cycle, it was right that people were looking mostly for um, BABIP because there were very few high stuff pitchers. Okay, yeah, I might go offensive catcher here to go with Hedges. This profile is really good. No power, but good contact and eye. Or Tyler Stevenson if his defense isn't too bad. This is the cool thing about the live update is you get a whole new set of players to consider. Okay, Tyler Stevenson, he might actually start with Hedges coming in off the bench. So we have two catchers now. I like Herrera's profile too, though. I'll keep him in mind. Okay, let's look at power now. Joey Gallo at first base sounds good to me. Power and I. He's on my reserve. Giancarlo Stanton at DH. He should also have a little bit of outfield, right? What's his rating? Okay, he's a DH. And I do like Gorman. We can find a spot for him. He plays multiple infield spots. He might end up playing third base. Activate Stanton. Activate Gorman. Now, partway through, I just like to let the AI build the lineup, and then I look at the depth chart to see. Okay, we've got starters and backups everywhere, but we have a starter backing up, so we need to focus on shortstop and third. We still also have some open outfield spots here too. Oh, Joe Adell's come down from silver. Interesting. I just won silver live the other day. I think you might want to add him. Let's keep an eye on that. Ooh, I like this Logan O'Hoppe card too. Hey, D Block, what's up? I'm doing a live roster updates because someone had been asking for it, and I also need to do it anyway for the tournaments coming up. What else does O'Hoppe play? First base. This is a pretty good bat for live bronze. Maybe I finally cut Hedges. Okay, I'm adding his bat. I like it. Oh, Sano's actually a 70 in left field now. That's actually playable. Let's see. Trace Thompson. I like the JD Martinez, but we already have one DH. I don't know that we can carry two. Hey, Fine W, I'm doing my bronze live roster rebuild after the live update. Fine WV, were you the one asking for how people do their roster builds? Because I'm doing this for the VOD so I can point people to it. So I'm doing this live on stream so I'd have it on the VOD uh so I could tell people if they want to see an example they can look at it. So now you can look at it live. Okay, here Sam Hood 90 defense, decent power eye, so we're gonna add him. So you may still what you missed was I always start with my position view where I look for catcher framing for a catcher, maybe two catchers. I look for infield range with turn double play for middle infielders, and I look at outfield range. That's before I look at batting. And then once I have this position filled, I go into batters. So that's where we are right now. And we've got 12 spots filled so far. Now, this is my first cut. I usually do a revisit of this after 1 or 2 days. This is just so I can get into the tournament and make sure that I don't forfeit and and kind of get some data on like how other players are doing too. Okay, so we still need a backup shortstop. So now I'm going to start getting a little more specific and look for shortstops. And let's focus on contact. The problem is with these live cards, they play so many positions, you're going to see a lot of shortstops that are not actual shortstops. So one thing you can do is you can add a filter for. Can you look for specific uh fielding ratings? Yeah, fielding at shortstop. Oh, I didn't I didn't add a filter. I didn't add what I was filtering for. Let's do at least 60. Okay, this helps cut out some of the noise. Oh, Nick Lofton might be good. He's got contact and decent eye. Oh, Jackson Holiday and a left-handed bat. I forgot about him. Let's add him. All right, 13 players. We just need one more. Um, let's see how we're doing position-wise. Okay, we've got backups everywhere. I am going to see if I can upgrade from Pache because he's an iron, and we can add one more bat. All right, so let's go back to outfield range at center field. Let's take that filter off. I always forget to take the filter off. Okay. So Taylor might be good. Oh, I like this profile too. 67 BABIP, 67 power, 69 I, which for bronze is pretty good. Yeah, so Taylor's already in the reserve. So we can add Taylor, take out Pasha. I don't mind having one or two irons, but ideally, I mean, if the iron's better, it's better. Like the glove for Hedges always keeps him on my bronze roster, it seems. And now let's just find the best bat we can, and then we'll go do the pitchers. And I'm running short on time, so I gotta. There is actually a grace period. You can actually submit a roster after 3 o'clock Pacific when this tournament fires. Um, so best bat, looking for the combination of contact, power, and eye that I like. Hopkins is good, but I already have a few first basemen and DHs. Castellanos, who just beat the Mets. If JD Martinez could actually play in the field, I would take him, but he can't. Uh, well, the upgraded Carlos Santana card is really good. Do I have space for him though? I don't think I do. Gallo at first. Oh, Hoppy's a catcher. Why is he first base? Yeah, he keeps moving Ohapi to first. I guess I could potentially take another first baseman. I mean, when would he play though? Would he be the DH? What's my DH situation here? Is he better than Stanton versus righties? No, maybe. He's a little better rounder, but Stanton has that big power, which I like. It might be Adele just because he's playable in the outfield too. Yeah, 85 right field, 97 left field. That's actually really good for Bronze Live. So let's add Adele. We'll make some edits about a week into this live cycle too. So this is just so we can get started. All right, now we're gonna add our pitchers. I have my own pitching rate. So this is the default pitching ratings. This is my pitching ratings. Again, it's stuff, HRA, PBABIP, control overall, and then VL and VR. I'm looking for splittiness with VL and VR. So I'm optimizing around home run rate and then looking to make sure they have enough control and stuff. And I'm looking for, first, I'm going to look for get my 5 starters. So Alex Wood, 59 stamina. I'd like to get him into the pen if I can, but we'll start with him. Quinn Priester. Nice. I feel like I've used him a lot, but did he used to be silver? Okay, yeah, he did come down from silver. I'm not used to him being on my bronze team. Although he must have been because he's on the reserve here. He will be a starter. Ashcraft, 80 control, 74 stuff to go with 77 HRA. Love it. Bringing him on board. And then the stuff's a little low, so is the control here for Hudson. Bassett, great. I'll take Bassett. And Stroman looks good, even though he's a Yankee. He was a Met. Ashcraft is going to be a starter on our team. All right, so let's look at our rotation now. We got 5 pitchers. Now, Wood has 59 stamina, so I'm going to try to replace him with another starter, and I need a lefty. So let's look. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to keep an eye on the handedness now. Stripling I like. We're going to add him, but I want a lefty for the rotation, so we'll keep looking. Drew Rom, great bullpen piece. Want him. Trevor Rogers, great. 79 stuff, 76 control. Go with 73 HRA. That's our left-handed starter. Perfect. Okay. It's wanting to start Wood still, so I'm gonna and to start wanting to start Rom. I want their stamina's out of there. So of the ones who are left, I think it's Stroman. Okay, so now two. I have a righty and two lefties in the pen, so I'm going to balance that out. Going to go back up to the top. Oh, real quick, just looking for starters. Let's do an optimizer on control and find someone who has high enough HRA. And I'm not seeing it, so I'm happy with who we have now. Now going to the pen. Stuff's a little low. Control's low. Stuff is low. Control's borderline, but I like the HRA in this stuff. Left-handed iron card. All right. Close enough that I'm going to add him for now. Isaiah Campbell. I like it. Pretty well-rounded profile. Let's see how our pen looks now. All right, we've got 2 righties and 3 lefties. So we're going to take a couple more righties. Oh, this is a nice profile. Lefty starter. Might have to add him. Still looking for a righty, though. Let me look under control, see if we find someone that way. I mean, 70's borderline, but that's good stuff and good control. So maybe for now, let's add him. A little lefty heavy in the bullpen, but I think it's close enough for now. Okay, the lineups we can always mess with, but is PMAP important? I've found that it's not nearly as important in PT25 as it was in PT24. Um, Find V, I'm much more inclined to focus on HRA and control. And then lately I've been looking at stuff next. PBABIT's like the last thing of the 4 I've been looking at, which is very different from last year. So we'll start Ohapi. We'll get Gallo in there at first. Again, we're trying to get it close enough to start the tournament. Yeah, Clay Dog, updating my live lineups, live rosters. And then let's get Joe Adele in there for Hilliard. Okay, this is close enough. Let me just get my bullpen rolls set up real quick. Someone's got to close. Let's go with Wood for now. We'll fix that later. This tournament fires at 3, so I just got to get something in. This is just what I do to keep the AI from screwing up my bullpen. So one thing that I had heard, and it does seem to be true, is if you only have one closer designated, if it's a closer situation, it'll bring in your closer even if they're tied. And so I play a lot with closer roles and secondary roles to try to prevent that from happening. So I'd rather have a rested secondary closer come in than an exhausted actual closer. Okay, that's good enough for now. And then I'm going to save this as this is the Sushi McMochi account, and it's bronze live, and today is 10:07. Okay, that's just my naming convention for strategies or for rosters. Okay, now at the risk of boring you to death, I have to do another bronze roster because I have 2 bronze teams running in this tournament. So let me log into that one. As long as they're not part of the same license, you can have um, more than one team in the same tournament. If it's not a what do you call it? What's it called when there's an entry fee? Oh, if it's not an entry fee tournament. Okay, so let's. All right. Oh, it's not letting me in to. That's weird. I mean, I guess I could do it in Roster Builder. I prefer to just do it in here, but card to your bronze. Okay. So I think I have 20 minutes to get this in, or maybe it might be 29 minutes. Oh, okay. I just got a thing that it said it just started, so I might be able to just build it in the. Okay, now it'll let me. Yeah, I think I still have 27 minutes where I can update this roster. So I hope if y'all are in here now, it doesn't mean you're not going to come back tonight because I will have. We have Smiley Face Jane playing Force 4 trades tonight, and we will have our pack giveaway like normal. Okay, why did it fill in a roster? I did not want a roster. I intentionally left it empty. It's much easier to do this from a clean slate than it is to have players in the reserve and stuff. Even though some of these players are going to end up picking again. Now, having done it once, it'll mostly be the same. The thing is, this account's older, so it might have more players. All right, so oh, this is good though. Flying WV. This is the part you missed for the first build, where I do the position ratings first. All right, we ended up not using hedges, so now that I know that, now of course I can't remember who I ended up taking. Um, but you know, we'll just skip it. We'll just pick the catchers from the batting screen. Okay, we end up keeping Lopez. I remember that. And then it's too bad Hayes can't turn double plays because he'd be good to have there. Oh, this Arias card looks pretty decent. Yeah, let's add him. Now this is where I'm gonna make a note to go back and see if I want to add Gabriel Arias to the other team too. All right, and then we need center fielders. We end up going with Taylor and Kiermaier, so I don't see anyone else that would keep me from doing that here. They're in the reserve. Kiermaier. Okay. Then we go to the batter screen. All right, Gallo's my first baseman. Um, Stanton's my DH. So Gorman and Gallo, we're gonna have to drag over here. Gallo, Gorman, and let's see, Joe Adele, Sano, El Hoppy. That's one of my catchers. And this is what I mentioned to Flying WV between Power and BABIP. I rarely go past the second or third screen. Occasionally, for position needs, I might have to, but because you can see it at bronze, it's even worse in iron how quickly these drop off. So by the time you're two or three screens in, you're not dealing with very good cards at that point. Hilliard. All right, let's look at contact now. Oh yeah, Iglesias. I like him a lot at second base. Tyler Stevenson was my other catcher. Okay, we got one more spot. Let's see how we're doing on the depth chart. All right, we can just go best bat available at this point. Oh, how about lefty righty? Um, we can go left-handed outfielder or DH. Oh, Hearn looks pretty good. Can you play other positions? Not really. Georgia Tech legend Charlie Blackmon. So I'm also keeping an eye on fielding here. Getting a good fielder at this point would be nice too. Oh, look at Hunter Renfroe. 79 in the outfield, 70, 79, 76 contact power eye. All right, we'll take that. That's really good for Bronze Live. Okay, so now we need to build our pitching staff. Same way we're going to do our pitchers. We're going to filter by HRA. And let's get our starters first. Oh yeah, this is weird. I don't know if y'all have this problem. On the other account, you saw I had the slider bar, which I like to use to scroll up and down. Here, I can only go screen by screen, and it's really annoying. I don't know why it does that. But here's Alex Wood. He's going to be our stopper or long reliever. Here's Quinn Priester. We're going to use as a starter. Stroman and Hudson and Bassett. Let's go add Stroman. Oh, I know who we're missing. Jackson Holiday. We had him on the other team. All right, we'll see how we do with. We'll do Hunter Renfroe instead on this account. We'll see how Renfroe and Jackson Holiday play. Stripling and Rom we took. And Sandoval. There's another lefty in the pen. All right. Where are we on pitchers and lefty righty mix? Alex Wood, I don't want starting. And Laptop Hound, thank you for the raid. I'm trying to fly under the radar here today, just doing a little live roster rebuilding. But appreciate it. This is I'm doing this for the VOD because I've had a few folks, including Flying WV, who's in the chat, ask how I do this, and I always recommend watch tons of people do roster builds because everyone does it differently. I've had success with live tournaments, so I'm happy to share how I build my live rosters. Um, Lap, I appreciate the raid. I had a great time watching your stream today, as always. I did miss the last bit, so if I wasn't present for a drawing I won or something, I apologize. Um, I have nine more, I think, 9 or 19 more minutes to do this one, and then I have to do whichever one fires at 4, which I think is Silver Live. Those are the two I was going to try to get done today. And then hopefully by then, Dr. Dynastic will be on. I can hand everybody off to him because I've got to go take a kiddo to soccer practice. Yeah, lap for sure. I mentioned it in your chat, lap. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm really enjoying your NHL 25 streams. So I'm looking like Flying WV. I'm looking forward to the next one. Okay, so Stripling in for Sandoval. We'll get the order of this a little bit better, but okay, so we've got a righty and two lefties in the pen. I'm going to balance that off a little bit better. So now I don't have to look at stamina. Now I can just look for, uh, in order, HR rate, control, stuff. Isaiah Campbell. This is always reassuring when I'm finding players that I just picked in the other roster too. So it means I'm being consistent. I might not be right, but I'm being consistent. Well, I will say, I think the results would say I tend to be right in live tournaments. So Brendan White, this looks decent. How do I feel about Ottavino? I think, if I recall, I think he's a little splitty, but I like him overall. In fact, I grab him pretty often in live tournaments. Um, is he bronze? I thought for some reason I thought he was iron, but I could be wrong there. Okay, what's my left right mix now? Okay, I can take one more. I can take best available. He's bronze. Oh, he's bronze now. Interesting. Let's take a look. He is a Met. Ooh, look at that. Let's see if I'm right about the splittiness, though. You know what? He is splitty, but his VL is still good enough. So thank you for bringing him to my attention. I did not realize he had. Um, he's in this. Wow, an 11-point drop. Okay, well, I like it. I'm gonna add him. I might even go back and add him later to the other roster. Oh, I wonder if it's an Ottavino. It's a historic then that I've been grabbing in drafts. Does he have a historic card? He must. Let's see. Oh, it is. Yeah, like I said, iron. This is his iron card. I've been grabbing this in drafts a lot, because I like the HRA control mix with stuff. You don't really see this stuff with HRA control in iron, so I use him quite a bit in iron. But man, it's sad to see him dropping 11 points in live. That's a bummer. All right, let's now just so I don't miss it, I'm going to go ahead and submit this now, and then I'll work on the bullpen here. So we have four righties and three lefties. And the way I try to keep the AI from screwing me over is I go closer and then lefty righty, stopper, stopper, set up, middle, middle. I feel like I'm missing a lefty starter because I don't think I'm starting Rom on the other team because all my. Who might I be missing? It could be a card I don't have in this account too. That's the problem. It'd be a lefty starter. Oh, it's probably Trevor Rogers. Okay, so which lefty would I want to cut loose? Verdino is the one I don't have on the other team, but I actually like this profile. Did I take a drink for the 11-11? I don't know what that means. I don't laugh. I don't know what that means. Uh, oh, for my packs? That's funny. I didn't notice that. That's perfect. 11-11. All right. Which lefty am I going to cut here? I guess it might be. Well, I like Sandoval's stuff. Yeah, I've had Drew Rom for so long, but I think it might be Drew Rom. All right, let's send him to the reserve. And let's go ahead and add in Trevor Rogers. Now, if you activate a card with a spot open on the roster, it'll just add it right to the roster. Okay. Let's do another submit team in case it cuts me off at 320. 320 Pacific, that is. Okay, stopper. And I like my stoppers to have some stamina. So who's my highest stamina righty? Okay, it's White or Campbell. Which profile do I like better? VL? That would be Campbell. Oh, he's already my closer. How about Hudson? No. Okay, so stopper, set up, and then middle, middle. And then I set my stoppers to the seventh inning. Sometimes I make the setups the backup closers, but for this group, I'm okay with, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna make him backup middle relief. There we go. So I still have three backup closers, and their total is still two righties and two lefties. They back up setup. We're good there. I still do the. I noticed I heard someone on another stream asking or saying they don't do this anymore, but I still do the aggressive tiredness hook. I'd be curious to know if people still do that. But and for those of you who haven't seen me stream, I don't usually do tournament stuff. I usually do base game experiments and games at 10 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested, I do 10 pack giveaways where we try to guess the outcomes of the experiment or the stream or the sim. And seven packs for first place, um, 3 packs for second place. And tonight we have Smiley Face Jane in the chat is going to be playing a game we call Force 4 Trades, where you pick any team that you like. And then I just did the 85 Mets a year before they won the World Series. Smiley Face Jane has chosen the 62 Mets, one of the worst teams in Major League history. And the premise is you can force any four teams in that season to trade a player to you for whoever you want to give back. Usually, someone who's garbage. And then, so basically, you're upgrading four spots on your roster, and then we sim it out to see how well your team does. So the 85 Mets, um, we, and so this is partly something I got from Spyface Jane and the Nolan Network podcast mentioning it. I got a little more strategic with my trade picks and picked players from teams that I was trying to beat in the standings. So it took so in '85 the Mets missed the playoffs, won 98 games but missed out because of the Cardinals winning 101 games. So I forced the Cardinals to trade me Ozzie Smith and John Tudor. John Tudor had an insane season that year. Um, I think a sub 2 ERA, something like 19-3 record. I think sub 1 WHIP. So we took uh, the Cardinals ace and their God fielding shortstop. And we also took from the Dodgers, who won the NL West that year. We took Pedro Guerrero, who ended up hitting 47 home runs for us. Which is funny because I was disappointed that we had to take Guerrero because I had my heart set on Ricky Henderson, who had an insane 1985. But it turns out he only played center field that year, and we needed a left fielder. So I had to pass on that plan and shift over to Guerrero. And then we took George Brett from the Royals to lock down third base. And I think we won 124 games and won the World Series. So that was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward tonight to seeing how Smiley Face Jane navigates 1962 and improves the 62 Mets. And in case you're not familiar, if you check out Smiley Face Jane's track record in league and tournaments and pretty much anything, uh, I wouldn't bet against the 62 Mets winning the World Series. That's just how good Smiley Face Jane is. All right, so I think we're done with this. Let me submit this again and let me export this so I have it for future use. This is GCC Bronze Live 2024 10:07, October 7th. Okay, let me switch accounts real quick. What fires next? What fires at 4 p.m.? I think it's silver. No, that's silver late. Live silver is at 7. So let's do that one next. In fact, Smiley Face Jane also won first place in the pack giveaway last night, winning 7 packs. So, yeah, don't bet against Smiley Face Jane. What am I doing? Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm switching accounts to a silver account. And I apologize. There was really nothing I could do pack giveaways for today. So, we are doing pack giveaways tonight. We're betting on how Smiley Face Jane's 62 Mets are going to do. But for a roster build, I couldn't really think of a contest to do. So I don't have a pack giveaway this afternoon. Live silver. Yeah, Flying V. It was pretty fun. It's a game I've played before on OOTP a bunch of times. I did it on stream once before, but it's been a long time, and I think most of our late night audience hadn't seen it before, so I brought it back. And I had fun playing it. It seemed like people had fun watching it too. So, uh, and Smiley Face Jane did a point redemption to play tonight, so it must have looked at least somewhat fun. Okay, this is good. This is how I like to start these with an empty roster, so I don't have to come in and drag people in from the reserve. Oh, you'll be there tonight? Awesome, Flying Davey. Good luck on the pack giveaway too. So, this is a good one to just start from the beginning. So this is how I like to start with everything completely empty. And then I go to manage cards. I fill my key defensive positions first. So I created this view. Let's sort by catcher framing. So I still like to go bat first for catcher, but I want someone with at least decent framing. Unfortunately, like you drop below 80 pretty fast here. Um, Jonah Heim, decent profile. The rest are pretty weak. Um, Jake Rogers at least has some pop and a little bit of eye. Higashioka's got power but no contact. Grandal is someone I always like grabbing, even going back to PT 24. It's bonus that he's a switch hitter. The framing's still decent at 78, so let's grab him. And for now, we'll just grab Hedges as a defensive sub. We'll probably end up replacing him though, especially because he's an iron, and his offense kind of reflects that. Okay, infield range. We're looking for middle infielders. That's why I also have turn double play next to it. Otherwise, you think, oh, Cabrian Hayes, infield range, great, but he can't turn double play, so he's not a great middle infield choice. The interesting thing here is like if you look at the player values, there are very few silvers that have the high infield range. I think it's been like that all cycle, which I think is interesting. Right, you get down to Kevin Newman, who has decent contact at 80, actually like more than decent for silver, but you're down to 79 range, 75 turn double play. Right, so if you want good defense, then you're stuck taking some pretty bad bats. Uh, so we'll do what we did with other positions. We're going to start with some placeholders that can play defense, knowing that we might replace them. When we get to the batting screen, we'll probably end up replacing some of those players. Oh, this is interesting. PCA, P. Crow Armstrong got a little bit of a boost. Okay, I'll bite. Left-handed center fielder. We'll take him. Now I'm going to take a righty too. We might end up cutting one or both of them. Series got power, I think, if I recall. Yeah, 81 power to go with 111 outfield range. I like that. So we'll go ahead and so we have righty lefty at center field who can both have 100 plus range. So we're good there. We might end up cutting one. Yes, yeah, Cubs and Steve. It definitely shows in the new live update for sure. Um, I always watch his activities wistfully because um, he started out, I believe, as a Mets draft pick. Uh, so I always kind of wonder what might have been with him. All right, so let's get the rest of the lineup here. So we have almost no other position filled except up the middle. So, and again, I'm still looking for a mix of contact, power, and eye. I'll take two out of the three if I have to. Yeah. Well, so the Mets needed Baez because Lindor was hurt, and I think the Mets were a little quick to give up on PCA. Situationally, I think it kind of made sense, but I was sad to see him go because I thought he had a lot of potential. But with Lindor hurt, I mean, we needed a shortstop, so that was the price. I guess Soler might end up being a DH. Oh, yeah. All right, thanks, Coach Steve. Yeah, so I don't know how much of that you heard or didn't hear, but that trade happened when Lindor was hurt, and so the Mets needed a shortstop, and I think we're kind of quick to give up on PCA. So situationally, that trade made sense, but And the long term, I'm sure it was not a trade that they wanted to make, but kind of had to happen, I guess. Unless they were ready to give up on the season, and I don't think anyone was ready to give up on that season at the time. All right, I need someone who can play third base and can hit. So we have fielding at shortstop. We'll just add fielding at third base. Let's do at least 60. Because the problem is that if you sort by defensive rating, it's the defensive rating of the position that's listed, not necessarily at the position you're looking for. Yeah, but I think you ended up giving up Bias at the right time, right? Like, I don't think he's done much since then. Oh, Ryan McMahon. Yeah, I like him in PT Live a lot too. So that's a really good profile for Silver Live. McMahon was a good bargain until he went to gold. Or no, now that he's silver, he's a good bargain in PT Live. Unlike Schwarber, yeah, Schwarber has been insane. Of course, I noticed during the Mets broadcast they said he's now the postseason career leader in leadoff home runs. Okay, now I might have too many third basemen. Am I taking? I think I'm taking Josh Young. All right, let me see where we are now. We have 11 players. Let's have the AI make a lineup and let's check our depth chart. I don't love that a starter's backing up at shortstop and then Young, who's not a great shortstop, is backing up at shortstop. So let's maybe find another shortstop. Well, that's not too bad though, because Nicky Lopez can play short, and then we have McMahon's a starter. Okay, let's look for a middle infielder who can hit. Let's uncheck third base and let's check shortstop. Anyone with contact and eye at least? No, Gavin Lux could be interesting. 63 at shortstop. Glaze Alexander. Oh, 70 shortstop, 80 second base. Not a lot of power, but how splitty is he? He's not too splitty either. Okay, I'm going to take him as our backup, maybe even starting VL. Let's see how he fits in there. Okay, yeah, he's top back up at short and third now. That's kind of what I was looking for. So that's good. All right. So let's look to see if we can upgrade Hedges and then best two bats available at this point. So I always forget to uncheck these filters. Okay, let's look for catchers. Any with power. Higashioka is probably the best mix of power and defense, but what's Sam Huff's defensive profile like? Mostly arm. I'd rather have mostly framing. What if we just add a filter here? Let's just add catcher framing. If you haven't done this before with filters, it's super useful. You just have to remember to uncheck them when you're done. Otherwise, you'll be confused why you're not seeing certain cards. Let's see framing above 70. Wait, that can't be right. Higashioka's framing is not. Oh, it is above 70. What? Oh. Okay, yeah, we're taking. Okay, you're going to replace Hedges. Awesome. Okay, great. Okay, so we have 12 players now. Give me the new lineups. I'm after trimming hedges. That's good. I like that. Um, oh, Cubs MC saying Shore will always be special to the Cubs fans for coming back in 2016 for the World Series. Yeah, it's always interesting when players have like a special place with a club. All right, so now I'm going to do what I said I forget to do. Let's uncheck this. All right, now we're just looking best bat available. Can I take another DH? I think I'd rather not, right? Let's see. Um, I don't. I guess if it's a really good lefty DH, but Solaire's actually not too splitty, so I'm happy to have him VR and VL. So if it's a lefty DH, I'll think about it. And let's undo catcher here. Okay. Ooh, Pete Alonso's profile is actually not bad. Right-handed first base. What am I on first base? Bluester says the Tigers just got a 3-run home run. Thank you for the update. Oh, I should have the game on. I've been so in the ninth. Nice. Okay, we've got Naylor at first. I actually wouldn't mind platooning him. Maybe we'll add Alonso. I kind of like that idea. So I'm looking forward to the PTCS standings coming up because for the last 4 cycles, all 6 of my teams have made it in, mostly on live tournament results. So 2 bronze, 2 iron teams, and 2 silver teams. And I'm hoping to extend that streak to five PTCS cycles of all 6 teams qualifying. But we'll see. I think one of them was a little close to. I think it was like around 113 or so. So there's one I'm a little worried about. Ooh, Tom Murphy. I really like this profile. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind. He might be potential because I've got Grandal and Higashioka. I'm gonna have to keep Tom Murphy in mind. All right, I need one more bat. Mets legend Michael Conforto. Um, JD Martinez would have to DH. This Jesus Sanchez profile is pretty good, actually. And he can play defense. Okay, let's add him for now. And that's another lefty bat, too, which I like. Okay, what does that do now to our? We have 14 players. Sanchez starts. I'll go Soler at DH versus lefty, though. We'll fix the lineups in a little bit. I just need to get players in. Virginia Tech Hokie great and Tiger stalwart Gary Carpenter. Takes Class A deep for 3 months in the ninth inning with 2 outs and 2 strikes to give the Tigers a 3-0 lead in the lead in the ninth. I like the reference, MIT Hokey. That's awesome. Who for the longest time I thought was Mithoki, but MIT Hokey makes sense. All right, let's go to the pitching staff now. Blutster too. I also thought for the longest time was Blue Tester. And then I heard someone else say Blutster. I was like, oh, that makes more sense. All right, we're gonna go. This is a pitching view I've created that breaks out movement into HRA and PBABIP for overall VL and VR. And I know it's confusing navigating my views because for batters it goes VR VL. I think I tried to mimic the way it is in the game, and so for the pitchers it goes VL VR. But when you go to the pitching staff, it's VL VR. Even for the default pitching setting, right? For some reason it goes VL VR, so I tried to mimic that. That's why it looks like that. Okay, so let's sort by HRA first. And in case I missed it, if I do miss it, if someone could let me know when Dr. Dynastic comes on, I will rage y'all into him so that I can go get ready to take my oldest kiddo to soccer practice. All right, Palante might end up going in the pen, but definitely want. So I look at starters first. I'm looking at the stamina as well as the HRA control and stuff. But Peterson, not just because he's a Met, but he's got everything I'm looking for. HRA in order, HRA control stuff, and he has starter stamina, and he's a lefty, which I need. Uh, Cobb, yes please. Ranger Suarez, yes please.
Why do you keep following me around?
Jordan takes a little low on control. Soriano a little low on control. Mackenzie Gore, yes please. Boomer 1260, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And also, I need more drops. Thank you for the follow. Hey, if you need drops late at night, stop by 10 p.m. Pacific. We're always hanging out, doing weird stuff in the base game, giving out drops and pack giveaways. And then Thursday, Fridays, I then raid into Max LP 80, who will take you into the morning streamers. So you can get your late night and early morning drops from Max. Let's give Max a shout out. And Max is worth watching too. He's quickly become one of the best silver players. I think he's number 4 right now, or at the last PTS standing, he's number 4 in silver, and regularly wins low silver. So you want to check him out. He does roster builds, and he's doing a 1994 Mariner save. Lost track. How many starters do I have here? Okay, I've got 5 starters. A little heavy on the lefties though. So if I can find one more righty starter, I can bump one of those lefties into the pen. So let me go back up to the top here and double check. Looking for starter stamina. This is close. The stamina is right. The control's a touch low, but we might come back to him. Oh, here we go. Hunter Brown. Excellent. Yeah, close to 80 HRA, 81 control, 107 stuff, 76 stamina. Perfect. And then that lets me bump one of those lefty starters into either a lefty stopper or middle relief role. And I'm going to grab a relief picture here. I like Slayton's profile. But let's go back up to the top. Look for some. Oh, the other thing is, let's check control first. Um, yeah, we'll grab Hobie Milner for lefty reliever. All these folks are a little too low on the HRA, except for maybe Chris Martin. We'll try Chris Martin. I usually do a refresh of this too a couple days into the new live cycle after I had a chance to see how our cards are doing and how competitor cards are doing in tournaments. I like Bummer, although he might be splitty. How splitty is he? No, he's not too bad. We'll take him. There might be too many lefties though. Let's see how that looks. Okay, two more pitchers, so we'll take two more righties, and then we're good. We're looking for HRA control stuff. Now I could do filters, but occasionally I'll see someone who's just outside the ranges, and I still want them. So it takes a little longer, but I like to do it this way. Ooh, another lefty I like. How splitty is he? Pretty splitty. Okay, let's stay focused on righties. Let's stay focused. Lots of good lefty relievers here in Silver. Silver Live. Okay. Tonkin looks decent. Really high stuff. Decent control. High home run suppression. Let's try either him or Ginkle. Let's take Tonkin for now. I'm going to put Ginkle on the reserve, though. Oh, wait, he went onto the staff. Oh, right. Yeah, 4 and 3. Perfect. That worked out great. Okay. So, since we still have time, let's go ahead and set up the pitching staff. I'm going to hit a submit here just to get it in. Okay. So it's suggesting Ginkle at closer. Is that what I want? Let's see. So for all my righties, I look at this VL section, and for my lefties, I look at the VR section. Especially with like the prevalence of platoons, I just assume they're going to face more of the opposite hand. So Ginkle as a righty, I'm looking at VL. How does he compare to my other righties? Best home run suppression and best control. Yeah, so I like him as it's 4-3. So I'm going to go one closer right handed, and then I can go left, right, everything else set up, stopper, and middle. So for stoppers, who are my highest stamina folks? Gore, Slayton, and Tonkin. So my righty stopper is going to be Tonkin, I guess. Which makes sense because you look down here, he's the use more often middle relief set by the AI, so that is a little reassuring. Then lefty stopper. Now I could go Gore, but then I don't have anyone with high stamina in the middle relief role. So next highest stamina. Well, then I dropped to 17 and 16. So I guess we're going to go Gore at stopper. And what I usually do then is I'll make, instead of his secondary role being closer, it'll be middle relief, which is what he is right now. And then for setup, are we going lefty righty? So I want Milner or Bummer? Milner versus Bummer. I'm gonna go Bummer with the huge HRA and stuff. That means Milner's going to middle relief. And then Martin or Slayton at setup. Martin's has the better control. Slayton has the better stuff and P BABIP, which I rank fourth. All right, we'll go Martin, and then Slayton at middle relief. Okay, then my setups are eighth inning, my stoppers are seventh inning, my closers ninth inning, and they're gonna secondary role closer. I need a lefty. I need a lefty. And then that's middle relief. So I know it probably looks crazy, but this is all based on the way I've heard AI tends to mess up your bullpens. So if you only have one closer, it'll march out that closer in all closer situations, regardless of fatigue. Blue Star, thank you for the update. Detroit wins 3-0 is the final score. All right, and I'm still doing this. It's probably no longer the thing to do, but the aggressive tiredness hook. All right. And oh yeah, I still need to set my lineups. There's PCA leading off at center field. Now, I know the AI is doing that because of his speed and stealing, but I don't like that his. Well, VR, I guess that makes sense. VL, I don't necessarily love that. So we're going to start Siri at center field VL, and we'll take PCA out. Then Siri can lead off. And that lets us bring a righty left fielder. Oh, we don't have another one. That's why. Okay, if I want to bring in a righty outfield bat, who could I take out? I mean, Young's backing up a bunch of positions, but I don't necessarily need him there. Arias is starting at shortstop because that's the A I put in there because of defense. What if I want to start Alexander? How does he compare? Better contact and BABIP, better eye for Alexander, worse power, but on defense. Um, all right, significantly worse shortstop. So, I mean, do I even have a righty bat I really like that I would bring in? Stanton, who's a bronze. Huff, who's a catcher. Berger has no eye. There's a bronze Hoskins. Yoshida's a lefty and DH only. Oh, Mountcastle could be interesting. Hmm. And no one's jumping out at me. All right, we'll run with this for now. We'll figure out a way to make it work this like this. Let's do a Siri up there. Yeah, okay, I like that. So we have a chance to put in someone in left field. Solaire's already in a DH. Actually, Sanchez versus lefty isn't too bad. All right, let's try that. Soler, Sanchez. Okay, that'll do for now. It's close enough. All right, now I can save this. All right, and how are we doing with Dr. D? Is he on yet? It is getting close to soccer pickup time.
Why do you keep following me around?
Oh, cool. Do we just get another follower? Oh, great. 50%. Thank you for the follow. That helped me meet some arbitrarily Twitch set follower goal. Awesome. Yay. Okay, let me put the title page up real quick while I switch accounts. And I have another silver live to do. Unfortunately for you, that means it's going to be a lot of repeat of what you just saw. But occasionally I do find players that like one team has and the other doesn't. Especially since I'm behind on opening packs. That's definitely going to be the case. How many packs on this one? 1,454 packs. A little bit behind. Since I started streaming, I've not been good at opening packs. I thought I'd end up opening a bunch of packs on stream, but we're doing all these fun experiments and roster games that the pack opening has been kind of falling behind. Find you to be struggling in Silver League play. Yeah, it's hard when you, especially if you've moved up into Silver. It can be pretty tough. I think going back to PT24, the hardest transition was moving up into Diamond. I remember getting crushed the first time I went up into Diamond. Oh, Silver has my good old buddy Jose Trevino. I forgot about him. Is Trevino? Does he have an N? Does he have a tilde over the N? Trevino or Trevino? But a great defensive catcher. Always like grabbing him in Silver. Claydock says, I'm being modest. Those packs are just a week's worth of winning tournaments. I always do think it's funny when I win a 30 pack tournament and I'm like, add it to the pile. Add it to the pile of unopened packs. Now, is Patrick Bailey better VR? Yeah, I hope he is. Yes, he is. Okay, good. That'll be a good platoon mate with Trevino. Trevino. Okay, let's see. Now, see, this is crazy to me. In the live world, your best infield range turn double blade combos are still iron guys. It's still Nunez and Ahmed, and then a bronze guy in Lopez. They're the only ones with range over 90 and turn double play over 80. You finally get a silver here with 84.79, which is close, but yeah, I thought there was going to be. I'm waiting to raid into the mothership because I need to go pick up my kid for soccer. Okay, here's what we'll do. I want to stay on for like maybe 5 more minutes. If I don't see Dr. Dynastic, I'll raid you all into Nurture Banco for Major League Managers. But yeah, Lap was saying that Dr. D was supposed to go on at 7 Eastern, which would be 4 Pacific, which is now. But I know he's also had stuff going on outside of streaming, so let's just hope things are all cool on his end and he's just running late, or maybe he's just going to miss another day. Oh, thank you, Barry Basher, for the update. Doc is golfing today and said we'd play Mothership by ear based on how he feels. Okay, so then I'm not going to feel too bad then if we end up raiding into Nurture Banco, and you'll get to see an online league, right? Major League Managers. You get to see what that's like. Um, at what point do I just say I'm going to go with some of these bronze cards because they're just better fielders, even though their offense is going to be as good? I mean, Arias is playing on the other team. I don't see why we wouldn't grab him here. I mean, I'd like at least 80-80, but there are very few silver choices there. Jimenez doesn't have much offense. Because if I'm going to go 84-79, they're better defenders with slightly worse offense, like Nicky Lopez. Am I taking Lopez? Am I going bronze up the middle? I am for now. How's Volpe's offense? It's not great. Kevin Newman, better, but not great. Man, yeah, there's not a lot of up the middle offense here. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, well, that was a bad example because he was a 45. I was meant to look at Barrero here. Barrero, sorry. He's better. Let's take him. He's 80-70, 82-74 at least. Barrero. And then let's send someone down. I guess it's Nicky Lopez. Let's send him down. All right, I'm gonna have to finish this later. I do think I'm gonna have to get ready to pick up the kid for soccer, especially if we're not sure Dr. D is gonna be going on his regular time. So, but yeah, hopefully y'all come check us out some night. Tonight, I mentioned earlier, but in case you missed it, Smiley Face Jane, who's in the chat, is going to be playing one of our games tonight, which is Force 4 Trades. And Tuesday night, we'll have one of our great West Coast streamers. Let me give a shout out to Ezra Denny. Ezra is going to be playing a game I've invented called Create a Roster, where you get four. It's all player created players in the base game. You get 4 legend level players, 5 star, 5 good, 5 average, and so on. And in advance, you pick what positions you want for each tier. And then the day of the game, I generate 5 players for you for each roster spot. You pick which one you want to keep, and we delete the other 4. So if you have like a legend level shortstop as one of your choices, we generate 5 legend level shortstops, and you get to look at them and pick which one you want. And once your roster is set, we give it over to the AI and play a season. And Fine Heavy V is going to play Creator Roster. Awesome. That's great. Fine of you. When you're in the chat tonight, we'll figure out a day to do that. That's great. That's awesome. So we have uh, tonight we have Smiley Face Jane playing Force 4 Trades. Tomorrow night we'll have Ezra Denny playing Creator Roster, and then coming up soon we'll have Flying WV, who just redeemed channel points to play Creator Roster also. Our current king or queen of the mountain for Creator Roster is Smiley Face Jane. So we'll see if anyone can knock them off the top there. But it's not really competitive. I think everyone has a good time, like supporting each other and having fun. But we do pack giveaways based on trying to guess the outcome of the season. So there's that too. Drops and pack giveaways. All right. Let me hand you all over to Inertia Banco, who's doing Major League Managers. If Dr. D does show up, my apologies. I just can't hang on too late today. So let's raid into Inertia Banco. And thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you had fun. I hope, I always learn stuff watching other people build rosters. So hopefully I did something that maybe gave you an idea that you might want to do something differently next time. And let's go have fun watching Major League Managers. Oh, and of course, thank you to Laptop Hound for the raid. Appreciate that and all of you being in here. All right, see you next time.